Okay, Nyasa.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are joining Africa Online. Well, it is a beautiful fall, spring kind of day. The breeze is blowing softly. It's just a magnificent day here in the city of Trenton. What's it looking like in your city, in your neck of the woods? Well, we are 1 week away from our sixth annual summit and gala that was held in the city of New York. It was a magnificent time. And this is going to be a day where we reflect, we talk about it, we share, and we're going to talk about the brain drain and how we can stop the brain drain from the continent. I'm your co-host, Ambassador Prophetess Lisa Parks. Again, welcome to Africa Online. And now for the editorial of the day with my co-host, Professor Nia-san. How are you, my brother, and what's it looking like down in your neck?
Fine, thank you, and welcome to the show. Unfortunately, I will not be lasting throughout the program, but I'm breathing, I'm fine, but I will move out of the program after the editorial. So please forgive me for that. All the same, my neck of the woods, a rainy night last night, because after 1 month, we were able to have rain finally. And even this afternoon, the clouds are there, and we are believing that we'll have rain again this afternoon or evening. That said, welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation and the editorial. September is the 9th month of the year in the Julian and Gregorian calendars. Yes, it is the 9th month of the year, and it has a length of 30 days. Remember those days in elementary school, 30 days as September, and you continue. September, which kicks off with a 3-day weekend honoring Labor Day that passed on Monday, marks the start of a new school year, the end of summer, and the beginning of fall. Yes, many schools are starting, especially in the United States. The month of September is also tied to the harvest season, not that is in North America. Congress passed legislation in 1894 amid a railroad workers' strike to create the holiday honoring Labor Day. So it is not just because they did not want to celebrate with the Russian at that time, well, with Russia at that time, because it used to be the socialist Soviet republics. They didn't want to celebrate Labor Day with communists. So it was also another motivator, but it was more the farmers' strike, the railroad strike that urged Congress to introduce that Labor Day and put it on the first Monday in the month of September. Today, Sunday, September the 7th, 2025, is the 250th day of the year 2025. There are therefore 115 days left in this year 2025. Can you imagine? Just 115 days left. Today is the 36th Sunday of 2025 on the 37th week of 2025, if we use United States Standard Week number calculations. It is also the 80th day of summer, meaning that we now have just, Ambassador Lisa, I always call on you, 2 weeks to go. We have just 15 days, that is, for fall to be with us. But it's sounding more like fall already. I see leaves already from the tree behind my house. They are already on the ground. I say, but fall is coming very early. What happened? Anyway, that's that. And because September is harvesting season, its full moon is going to be called corn moon or harvest moon when it falls on the 22nd of September. The full moon, of course, I already see the moon is full already in the sky. It's getting full. That is not something we should worry about. This is the period when we just have to say, well, the world continues to turn. On September 7th, 1822, Brazil declared its independence from Portugal after 3 centuries of colonial rule. Pedro I, son of Portuguese King Dom Juan VI, proclaimed the independence, leading to a new era for Brazil. This September is a public holiday in Brazil, celebrating the country's independence from Portugal, and throughout the country, there are parades and other events. Happy Independence Day to the people of Brazil. And did you know that the capital of Brazil is not Rio de Janeiro or some other big city? It is Brasilia. It is Brasilia. That's the capital of Brazil. And now to the onions of the day. Let's slice them and fry them because we need some spice in our food. The first thing that comes to mind when we hear about what Ambassador Lisa said a while ago, the brain drain, is a question. Is there an African brain drain problem? If there is an African brain drain problem, how did it come about? So, if we admit that it exists, then how did it come about? I already asked that question, but how can we end it? We, the people alive today, the present generations that are looking at what is happening worldwide. So first, what is the brain drain? Second, is it specific to Africa? Third, so how can Africa get the elephant out of the room? Let us together at the beginning of this month's Members' Choice period shine the light on and raise awareness about Africa's brain drain, if it is a problem. Africa Online Media Corporation is your window on continent-wide issues. We are live every Sunday from 4 p.m. through 5:30 p.m. and Zoom in every Sunday if you are really interested in Africa Online Media Corporation, which you should be, by inputting the code 832-5993. I take that again, 85958325993. And when prompted, input 5993 is our code, the passcode. And now over to Her Highness, Reverend Dr. Pam Fumnu, to introduce the topic again and to welcome all of us to the show. Welcome.
Well, yes, thank you so much. It's unfortunate that you have to bail out after the editorial. You were one of our honorees in New York and we missed you. Your award will wait for you. You will have to come to Ghana and get it next year, or you wait for 2 years and come to Texas and get it because we don't ship awards out. But congratulations on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you very much.
Ambassador Lisa was there, but too bad she couldn't bring your award for you. Like I said, we present the awards to the honorees. Wole Shoyinka was in Europe. He couldn't come, but he sent his daughter. His daughter was there to accept his award. We were discussing Africa's Brain Bank as a solution to Africa's brain drain. So on behalf of Africa Online Media Corporation, Africa's Brain Bank, I want to truly appreciate you, Song, Ambassador Lisa, looking up all bright with that hairdo we call in Cameroon Bigidi. I don't know what she calls it here, but also to our viewers around the globe, those who are going to watch on YouTube and Facebook, you're welcome. Just before we proceed, I want to make it clear that a few years ago, I changed the definition of Africa's brain drain. It used to be defined as the loss of talent from Africa, but my definition is the lack of access to the global African intellectual capital by people of African descent. So even in Africa, those who are still in Africa, there's still a brain drain when they don't have access to each other's brain power. Same year in the diaspora. Prior to Africa Online, we did not have access to Ambassador Lisa's brain power, and that was brain drain, but now we do. And that's why it is so critical that we all collaborate to build this brain bank. That way, it doesn't matter where you are, your brains will be available to all people of African descent. Once that brain is available to people of African descent, then it's not a brain drain. It's brain gain, it's brain circulation, and all the wasted brains will be revived because there are brains that people that have dropped out of school because of funds or lack of opportunities, but they have something to contribute. And that is why it is so critical that we build this brain bank. I also want to welcome Sister Debbie, who just showed up. Nia Song, I think you should say something to her before you leave. Then I'm going to hand over to Ambassador Lisa. You were at the summit and charitable on brain drain. You can weigh in, and then I'll be back.
Ambassador Lisa, over to you.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness, Reverend Dr. Pam and Professor Nia Song. First, I want to say I had an opportunity in the city of Philadelphia last week to attend the Brazilian Independence Day, and we celebrated them by doing a flag raising. And they had their drummers and their dancers, and there was a wonderful demonstration of the capoeira, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is the Brazilian martial arts dance. And to watch them perform, the women and the men. And you know, one thing that they said during the celebration was that Brazil has more Africans in the continent or in the country than there are in Nigeria. No, I'm sorry, they have more Black people and Africans in their country, second to Nigeria.
Well, yeah, actually, the largest population of Black people outside Africa is in Brazil.
Yes, that's how it was. Thank you. Yes. So it was really one because I'm very accustomed to going to Africa's flag raisings. So this was the first time I had been to a flag raising of a country that was not an African. But we have on our parkway what we call the flags of the nation. So we have quite a few African flags, country flags on the parkway, which when they began that program was the sister cities to Philadelphia. But as more immigrants have come to the city in large numbers, whose flags are not represented on the parkway, we now do these flag raisings so that they can come and celebrate Independence Day. We decree it to be that country's day, and we raise their flag because we're not able to reconfigure the flags on the parkway. At least they haven't figured out how to do that yet, because right now all the flags in alphabetical order. So it was very nice to see a country that was not African per se to have a flag raising. I will be going on the 25th. We will be raising a flag for Namibia, which is going to be the first time ever as well. And their country has a female president for the first time, and she will be here present in person for the flag raising. So I will definitely be there for that as well. I know Nigeria is having their Independence Day shortly, but I don't know if they're going to do a flag raising this year. But I said all that to talk about because you mentioned Brazil's Independence Day. So back to the brain drain. The summit was amazing. I did not attend the entire 4 or 5 days. I was there for Friday evening and Saturday summit, and then the red carpet and the billionaire breakfast. And it was just a magnificent event. I was very glad that it was very close to home, which was only a couple hours by train or bus from where I live in Philadelphia. So I was able to take the train up to New York and to see all the people that came that represented the continent. And what I loved most of all was all the Cameroonians, Professor Niasang. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't bring that dress, because they were all dressed in their garb, in their traditional attire, which I thought was an outfit that you only wear in winter because the fabric was so heavy. But they were all dressed in their finest. And we were talking about how to gain access to the brains that are here in the diaspora, how we can give back to those that are on the continent. And as we are now moving into more and more technology, more and more companies are providing services. We still have that issue on the continent with access to the internet and stable power, stable electricity. So even if they had access to the internet, we would have problems with keeping their tablets, you know, fully charged because the electricity doesn't stay on. You can't just go plug it in like we do when our phones die, our laptop die. We just go plug it in the socket and we've got immediate electricity. But it was wonderful to see how so many foundations and companies are coming together and making their education programs, especially the STEM programs, available to those on the continent, and how the continent, the countries and schools are getting together and they're renting a large screen, and Reverend Pam can talk about that and a little bit about the classes that she's offering to the continent. So we're stopping all the brains from leaving Africa to come to the Americas, to come to Europe to be educated, and then they get a taste of this life and then they don't want to go back home. So this is a very good thing. Some years ago, you know, Nia Sung, I was on my way to Africa. We were at the airport and we were on our way to Africa, and there was a young man that was in line in front of us. We were all getting on British Airways, and he was going back home, and he was sharing with us how the entire village had gotten together, raised the money to send him to Philadelphia to school to be educated. And it was now he was going back home so they could send someone else. So I really like that idea of that, even if they were sending someone to the Americas to be educated, that person was now going back home to share his knowledge of what he had learned. Unfortunately for him, and we were unable to help him at that point because he didn't know he needed a interim visa to go to UK. And they were giving him problems because he didn't have a visa, a transit visa to stop in UK, even though he was not staying. So we still think about him sometime and pray that he was able to, he wasn't able to call the embassy because of the time and the day, you know, it wasn't like the embassy was open. But I like the idea, he was from Kenya, and I like the idea that he was the country, not the country, but his village had raised money to send him to be educated, and he was going back home. He didn't get caught up in life in America and a steady paycheck, and now he wants to stay. So, you know, even if our children are leaving the continent, we want to make sure they are going back home to take what they learned, because that's the reason that they're being released, so they can come home and bring some of that education. So, Reverend Pam.
Yes, I can intervene
Oh,
here.
go ahead, Nisa.
Yes, three things I want to point out. First of all, I regret my inability to be in New York for that ceremony, for that event. It was not because I did not want to. I still have tissues here that I used in wiping my tears.
Oh,
and the
God.
tears flowing. I missed it. It was a big opportunity I should not have missed, but I missed it. Secondly, I have to welcome Debbie back. I believe she's back because I see she logged in this morning or this afternoon. Debbie, you're welcome, and thank you for always being faithful to Africa Online Media Corporation. And thirdly, the brain drain. Yes, this immigration, either voluntary or forced by people from one part of the country to another, or from one country to another, in this case from Africa to Europe and the United States or North America in general, just because of the poor governance in their respective countries, not because like in the old days, the 15th, 16th centuries, when people were actually grabbed and sold in slavery, not like that. But this time around, people live out of their own free will because of the incontinence of their governments, because the governments are intolerable, the jobs are not there, the economy is terrible. You go to the market, you cannot even buy anything because you don't even have the money. So all those things contribute. And when people move from one part of the country or from one country to the other or from one industry to the other, it is a brain drain because the good brains in one part are leaving to another part to instead boost the economy and the political situation of that other country. It is a regrettable situation, and Africa certainly has a brain drain. It has been going on for years, and the problem now is, can Africa Online Media Corporation and its sister organization, Africa's Brain Power, Africa's Brain, what is it? I forgot it. Yeah, Africa's Brain Bank, can it stop that flow? Or can it create enough awareness on the continent to let our young people stop going abroad? Because going abroad, the pasture is not always green out there, never. Because you come, you sweat yourself thin just because you want to make the necessary bread you need for your family. You're sweating, you're working day and night, hardly having time for yourself or for the dear ones you left behind, but you have to send the money all the time. So brain drain is a problem. We need to look into it. So Ambassador, if you don't mind, I will call on Debbie if she can unmute and join us before I leave, because I'll be leaving in a minute or two.
But Niason, before you leave, just so you know, it's not can Africa's brain bank. Africa's brain bank is the solution to the brain drain, and we all have to build it. It is the solution. So it's not can it will. We just need all hands on deck. So
I am happy for that confidence, and I look forward to this being achieved.
We are already doing it. Like Ambassador Lisa said, right now we have 500 students from 5 different countries.
Yes. Sorry.
That we are training, and we're going to get them jobs. So those are 500 students that will not leave. And the next batch, we are hoping to have 5,000.
Okay, that's great. So Debbie, did you hear me invite you to, please, Debbie, I want to see your face if it's possible. If not, just go ahead and welcome to the show.
Nia-san, thank you so much. I don't know, I don't look presentable, that's why.
You do. We're happy to see you.
Well, it's been a while, family. So good to see you, Nia-san. I feel like crying on your behalf because I did not know you were going to miss that, and somehow, for reasons beyond your control, you were unable to be there. And for our lovely, lovely sister, queen, priestess, you were able to make it, driving from, taking the train from Philadelphia to New York. That was awesome. I wasn't around. That's why I was quiet all this while. And I was trying to empower a young man just based on what I heard you say, Nia Song, who I brought here in the States and encouraged him to go back and open a business. In the background, I'll send you a video of what he's doing. He went back to my community, and he's an electrician, very well trained and very knowledgeable. But in my village, we're not allowed to have electricity. What? Because if you put up electricity at night, if they find you doing anything and you can see, the people who are against it will come and sabotage it. So he's there, protecting someone, and you have, okay, I need watchers. You stand on top of that hill, you be here, you're watching to make sure that no one is watching what we're doing here. We have to repair this. So everyone's life is at their lives are in danger. And unfortunately, they cannot stay here because they made a commitment that if I do this, they will do that. So now I'm scared. What do? We stop sending them back, encouraging them to go back. I can't even go back myself. So we have this dilemma in a situation where we're empowering the younger generation, and the younger generation that has been empowered is scared to even be able to be visible and show their skills, what they are able and capable. How do we handle such situations? But moving forward, I want to appreciate everything that I heard earlier, and Your Highness, appreciate you always doing this. The brain drain is not going to go back in every sector, because as much as we try, it gets killed by the fear of the unknown.
May I say something, Debbie?
Yes, Mama.
Well, the people, I want you to be more optimistic. We will put an end to brain drain. I don't care which enemies are lurking out there to sabotage it, they will not succeed. Because if you go with my definition of the brain drain, you know that the solution is possible. So it doesn't matter where you are, your brains will be made accessible to our people. And we're going to use AI now since somebody who had pledged to sponsor the development of the IT didn't come through. Thank God it's not going to cost us 1.5 million. I think with AI we can do it for peanuts. So we are going to build it. We are going to build. We are going to definitely build the brain bank. We are already building it and we are already solving problems. It will not be solved overnight because this brain drain did not start today. It started from the days of John the Baptist. It didn't start today. So we are going to end it. The important thing is to capture all our brains, no matter where they are. And once they're accessible, then we don't have a brain drain anymore. Back to you, Ambassador Lisa.
Thank you.
Let me cut you a short again because I have to leave now. They are calling me upstairs to come to depart. We're going to this occasion that is part of the family get together at the end of the year. So it's not a sad event. So don't think that I'm going away because it is a sad event. No, it is just a family reunion. People came from the continent without announcing. So we have to do this and let them go back, even though going back is no longer as safe as it should have been. Thank you, Debbie, for being here today. And thank you, everyone. Please, I miss you all. Let's make it for the week of the 14th. Well, Your Excellency, Your Highness, please send me the topic again so I'll be able to do that. I know it's Members' Choice Month. Thank you very much.
See you, Nia Sung. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
Enjoy your family reunion.
Thanks.
Lisa, over to you.
Thank you. You know, I know we're talking about the brain drain, but I'm really curious because Sister Debbie and Nia Sung both said something about not being able to go back home. It's dangerous. And I'm really interested in why it's dangerous to go back. Is this part of the brain drain? Are people escaping? They come here, especially when Sister Debbie said they're not even allowed to have electricity in her village. I'm sure this is a whole topic for another time. But these are things that I'm really curious in hearing because I've never heard of such. But Reverend Pam, I wanted you to talk a little bit about the program that you have with the 500 students and how you are helping. Africa's Brain Bank is helping to end this brain drain by educating our children right there on the continent.
Thank you. So I will put the YouTube link on the chat box. If you watch it, and I encourage everybody to watch it because the lessons that we are teaching them is premium knowledge being taught by experts. Even the other professors are blown away. I will encourage everyone to listen to it and share it because not everybody has the opportunity to be part of the program. But you can share it. These students, their lives are already transformed. As a matter of fact, yesterday, we have the classes every Saturday. Yesterday, some of them in Sierra Leone got together in one location to participate in the class because a lot of them couldn't, some of them didn't have power, some of them did not have connectivity, and they did that on their own, which is good because they are seeing the benefits of team efforts. And if you watch the channel, you will see the comments from these students. Every week, they are supposed to submit a 1 to 3 minute video of the assessment of the topic. At first, we wanted them to submit a written report, but some of them were using AI and just copying and paste. And we've talked to them about the importance of AI and how to use it, the proper applications of it, not to copy and paste. So, but now they are getting to do a video. When we started, some of them didn't even know how to send an email with an attachment. And these are university graduates. So they are already learning a lot. We had to do classes, Professor Peter actually had to do 3 classes on digital comprehensive applications of, let me just say STEM, even though they're going to STEM program after this phase. So their lives are already being transformed and they are very, very grateful. Last Saturday, we gave them off so that they can catch up with their assignments. We were going to stream 1 hour of the symposium, but we thought, let them use it to catch up with all the assignments so that they will qualify to go into phase 2. We are triaging them in this phase 1, because only the serious students will go into phase 2 where we have to actually start paying tuition. for them. And since they are not paying tuition, their responsibility is to share the knowledge that they're learning with at least 2 students every week. And we're going to monitor that because it's accountability and it's responsibility. So I actually lost my laptop at the airport. So this is not my laptop. Yeah, I left it at TSA check. Hopefully they'll find it. So I'm not able to share the schedules with you guys. But I think that the next class is communications, and that will be taught by a PhD holder from University of Tuskegee, who happens to be the president of the West Pan-African Writers Association. So I will encourage everybody to listen to it. I will pull the YouTube link now and share it on the chat box so everybody can watch it. Please share it with your colleagues, share it with your children, and you can thank me later, Ambassador Wilson.
Thank you, Reverend Pam. I
Oh,
look
and
forward
one
to.
other thing, you saw Sister Melissa Mohammed, the founder of Black and Global. So we partnered with them. So the goal is to match 10,000 African talent to 10,000 Black enterprises in the US. So as they are getting out of the program, there will be jobs waiting for them. You know,
Wonderful.
Okay, and that will keep them on the continent.
Wonderful. I do remember us talking about that at the symposium, saying if we train these kids, these children, that we want companies here that have presence either on the continent or they have access to being able to have presence here in the United States. We want them to be able to educate these kids and to give them a job, because education without a job is basically a waste of time, especially on the continent where school is not free. Not even daycare, not even elementary or primary school. All of it costs. These parents are paying school fees for the kids to be educated, and then there is no reciprocal return. There's no harvest because there's no jobs, because the economies are so bad. So we want to be able to educate these children and to be able to offer them a position. If we can order something from Amazon and you want to call because you have a problem and you're going to reach somebody in India, we can be doing the same thing with our children here on the continent. We could be giving them jobs, even if it is telemarketing or answering the phone calls, making like a call center. But we want to be able to give them a job where they can make money and begin to build and rebuild their country, their economy, and themselves. So yes, Black and Global, was it Black and Global Enterprises?
Black and Global LLC, they are our partners.
Network. I think it was the Black and Global Network.
Okay, I thought it was LLC, but anyway, that's one of the YouTube lessons, but watch it and go to the other lessons that are there. There are several lessons there. Watch it and share and see the premium knowledge that we are giving these children.
I can't wait to go visit that. But yes, there were a lot of very enterprising people that were attended the symposium that were interested in partnering with Africa's Brain Bank and helping to educate our children on the continent. And as Reverend Pam said, that there are YouTube links that we can have access to, that we can now turn around and share with our people in the continent and those that are in our network. Dr. Gloria, we know that you are somewhere a little noisy, but if you can, find a corner to turn on your mic and share with us your thoughts on the brain drain. Okay, it looks like she's not available to have a conversation at this moment. So, as we said, last year's brain drain, last year's Africa's Brain Bank was in Lagos, Nigeria. This year, we were in the city that never sleeps, New York, in Brooklyn. Beautiful hotel, very close to transportation. It was a perfect venue, Reverend Pam. And let me just say, in case I did not say earlier, my hat's off to you and your planning committee for selecting a perfectly located, perfectly accessible hotel that was very accommodating. Everyone that I met there was wonderful. They were very accommodating. and everybody seemed to know who Her Royal Highness Reverend Pam was, and not in a bad way. So it was a good way that her name carried such weight, and we appreciate that. So 2026, everyone, we are going to the beautiful country of Ghana. So we want you to start getting yourself ready, start getting your passports ready, start thinking about how you can access and help Africa's Brain Bank in Ghana for 2026, because we are going home. And Reverend Pam, I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more about that a little bit later on. But I just want to drop a little seed, drop that little seed in some water or drop it in some little dirt and begin to let it germinate and begin to take root so that you will be ready for September 1st.
Ambassador Lisa, please let me share my screen.
Okay.
Let me share my screen, and maybe this will wake some people up. Hold on, let me share my screen here. Wait a minute, where is, hold on a second. Oh, wait. I'm trying to, okay. Can you see my
screen? Looks like it's thinking. It looks like it's thinking.
Is it coming up?
Now it's up.
I was sharing something. Oh no. It's asking me to, hold on a second. I want to share this because this is what is still happening today. My screen is a bit, look. You entered on, oh no. Okay, hold on. I'm not on my computer. Ambassador Lisa, can you, hold on. Let me make you, can you share? I put something on the chat box. Let's see if
I'm on my phone, and I don't think I have sharing.
No, I'm gonna give it to you. Just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Sister Debbie, can you share? If I give you co-host, can you share this stuff? And it's about this brain drain we are talking about. This just happened.
Oh, something just happened?
Yes.
Your Highness, I'm on my phone. If I were on my computer, I would say yes. But on my phone, my screen doesn't open and my vision is not in my favor. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No problem. Where it's some kids that died in they drowned, recently, trying to flee Africa. So this is what I want to say to our people. There is nothing out there. There's everything you need in Africa. There is nothing out there. Stop trying to run away from Africa, because Africa is the final frontier. Not even the next frontier, is the final frontier. Stop fleeing from Africa. That's the truth. We really should let our children know that. And then the diaspora also should not make things, complicate things for those who are on the continent. Because people come here, they take fancy pictures. Maybe they are working at a what do you call it, valet, and they're taking pictures with cars that are not theirs and sharing it with people back home, and they think life is rosy and it's not. Ambassador Lisa, were you the one who was surprised, or Miss June, that we didn't have homeless people in Africa? She was shocked. You see, like all the homeless people you see in LA, you will not see that in Africa. Because family members also, we need to let them know, and I'm so proud of the youth in Nigeria and the young adults, because they have found a way to sit at home and make money. Nollywood is booming. We have young creatives in Nollywood who are making more money than some actors in this country. And they are using YouTube. They are using YouTube. They have the population, so there's no need to flee Africa. If Africa was so bad, the West and the East would not still be going there. From the time of partition of Africa to today, they are still going, because they see germs there, they see gold there, they see diamonds, they see precious pearls, they see life in Africa. So why are we fleeing? Some of us, when we left Africa, we were coming here to study and go back.
Mm-hmm.
Things got really bad, especially with safety. That's why some of us are still here. But if our governments could just make things safe for us, a lot of us will go back. But the good thing with the brain bank is that you don't have to physically go back. Your brains can go. You saw all these young entrepreneurs at the summit who are doing things, you know, and even going to this New York Stock Exchange, that was life transforming. And now we went there not as commodities, but as decision makers and business people. And in less than 5 years, give us 3 to 5 years, we're going to have an IPO there.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Less than 5 years.
Africa's Brain Bank is going to go back, and we will have facilitated an African-owned IPO, initial public offering. Mark my words. Let me go back to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I want to go back real quick to what you were trying to share. Since you couldn't share, what were you saying about somebody from Africa?
Well, it's not my laptop, and the Facebook login is not. It's on Facebook, so I'm using somebody else's laptop.
Yeah, but I missed what it was. What was the article about that you were trying to share?
Just Africans dying in the Mediterranean Sea trying to flee Africa.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, this just happened.
Oh, so they're escaping kind of like Cubans. They're trying to cross in the water.
Oh yeah, and they've been time.
Wow. So we during the summit, as we were saying earlier, there were lots of companies, lots of businesses, entrepreneurs who came to share. One of our favorites, who is one of a regular speaker here, we usually have him here for finances, which is, oh goodness gracious, Reverend Pam, what's his name? Oh my God, it just just jumped out of my head that quick.
Douglas?
What are you talking about?
Douglas.
Oh, Douglas
is his name, brother.
Esse, yes, he was sharing. You know, he has free classes available. He makes himself available.
Oh yeah.
And he was sharing how he doesn't have a college degree. Yeah. He's not educated, it's quote unquote educated in the traditional sense. So it's not necessary for our children on the continent to have to continue on to university or to college. While that's a good thing, but you don't have to when God has given you a talent to do something. You just get in there and make it work. So we want to, you know, just encourage you to know that there are trades that are available. There are things that are available that you can do that don't require you to have to spend more money for education, and then you still can't get a job.
Well, so let me say this, Ambassador, before you finish, let me say this. Brother Douglas is highly educated. He's self-educated. He studied the financial system in this country, and now he's teaching people who hold PhDs. He knows things that doctorate degree holders don't know. So he may not have gone through the institutions or didactic classes like the mainstream. Highly educated, self-taught.
Traditional, yes, that's what I said.
And he deserves he deserves an honorary PhD. He calls his PhD personal high school diploma. That's his PhD. Yes. This guy is so smart. He's a cash value king. He's a wealth strategist. He understands the financial system in this country like nobody I know. So he is truly an amazing young man, truly. And he has taught millions of people using social media. He came to New York and taught this thing to our people. He did the same thing in 2022, 2023. And a lot of people have made smart financial decisions based on his one-on-one consultation with him. He doesn't charge.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. He has made himself available for those who are interested, those who need to understand finances, who want to understand. He has made his classes and himself available for our children on the continent to gain this kind of knowledge, to this kind of wisdom. Yes, they may have naira, or they may have shillings, or they may have, rands, but it's all finances. It's all money. So it all's going to work the same. I often say it's all currency. It all flows. So whatever country you are in, Douglas Easy will be able to reach you and share with you the wisdom and the knowledge that you need to begin to move towards from the place where you are to the place where you need to be. Let's see, who else was at the summit that was there sharing?
Lawyer Castle was there.
Oh yes, my very good friend Lawyer Castle, from Nollywood's most notable actor and actual Lawyer Castle. But I want to talk about the people who are there that are building and doing things on the continent. And there was the sister whose name, I want to say Dorothy, but I don't think that's right. But she's the one who's building the hospital. She had to build a hospital. Gloria. She had to build a hospital before she could open a school. And she has made herself available to anyone who is interested in going to Africa and to open a school. She does nursing. And they told her before she could even open a nursing school, she had to build a hospital. I thought that was kind of backwards. You build a hospital and don't even have people to staff it. But she now has the ins and the outs and knows exactly what needs to be done. And she's not there on the continent on a regular. So your brain can go where your body may not be able to go at this moment. So we had an array of speakers who were here at the summit to share what they're doing and how they did it so that you can follow suit and do the same thing so we can keep our African brains on the continent.
That's right.
There were actually two people, I believe, that were nurse practitioners who were actually building schools.
Yeah, Claudia from Los Angeles too. Both of them actually from Los Angeles.
Yes, both of them are from Los Angeles. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And opening I know I have a daughter in Uganda who years ago told me that she wanted to open a senior living facility. And back then, I don't even think we had senior living facilities here. But she just noticed that a lot of the older women, the elders of the town, were getting old. And I don't know if their families had died in the war or were killed somehow. But all these are older adults who are living with no one to help take care of them. So now I have an actual basically some wisdom that I can share with her about how to go about going on to open her home so we can bring some of these older ones who end up being homeless on the streets because there's no one to help take care of them. So who are some of the other speakers that we had? We had the nurses who are opening hospitals in Africa. I think they're opening.
We had a couple that are building schools in Africa. But we also had of course the plastic surgeon was there, the best plastic surgeon in the world was there. We had Melissa Mohammed was there also, Melissa Mohammed was there, the international tax attorney.
Yes.
Yeah, she was there. She talked about her business, and she's also the founder of Black and Global.
Black and Global, yes.
Like she said, it was the death of George Floyd that got her to do this. But you see, that also what she's doing ties into solving the brain drain, because now a lot of the people that were there, they want to tap into what she's doing, her network, and also to help hire these Africans. When you call companies like AT&T, all these big companies, the customer service people are not from here. They're either Filipinos or Indian. You can barely understand their English, but Africa has an educated talent pool. A lot of university graduates that don't have jobs. So
that's right.
We need to encourage the people to hire Africa. But let's hear from Dr. Crossley. If she has anything to say about brain drain, I'll go to Debbie.
Yeah, I called her earlier. She was unable to there she is.
Hi, I apologize. I'm not able to speak. There's too much noise here, but I can show you guys what I'm doing. Can you see it?
No, we can just sit in place.
No.
Okay, so I'm at Mr. Andy Shalaw's book signing. The title of his book is A Seat at the Table. Mr. Andy Shalaw owns about 8 restaurants, 8 busboys and poets.
Okay, a seat at the table. That's good. But a seat at whose table? Our table or their table?
But it's his book. You guys can't see. There's a ton of people here. He's a very good friend of mine, and I just met his wife for the first time. So I am like over the moon.
Okay.
But you mentioned his book. You said the book is called A Seat at the Table, and we're asking because you said he owns restaurants, right?
8 of them, yeah.
So
So
it's a
which-
seat at
which
the table at the
table?
restaurant.
That's the title of his book because he's so successful.
Okay, Ambassador Lisa, I think 2 minutes. I think we need to play the anthem and then let people give their last words and we'll call it.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Crossland. So we are having a short program today. So we are going to move right on into our anthem, and then we will come back and share our last thoughts on the Africa's Brain Drain African Summit, what has gone on this past weekend, and we want to talk a little bit about Ghana 2026.
Okay,
Reverend
hold on
Pam,
a second. I'm looking for I put the link. Is this, wait, African youth.
Okay, there. We saw it very briefly, Dr. Gloria. I saw it very briefly.
No. It's still taking me to Facebook. Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Okay,
so we're all still a little tight. Last weekend was a very power-packed weekend, and we actually need a week just to decompose and unpack from that weekend. But
Ambassador
we are
Lisa,
here.
can you see this?
Not yet. It's still coming up. Yes, it's up now.
Okay, this boat conveying mega capsized in Mediterranean Sea. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
This is happening. This just happened.
All these are Africans?
Yeah.
Actually, I saw it this morning before church.
It's a boat conveying migrants capsized in Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, it capsized. Wow. And all these lives were lost?
I don't know how many were lost, but this is exactly what we are talking about. They don't need to leave.
All these people are trying to escape. Okay, it's because I'm on my phone, it's a little hard to see, but it looks like they're all in life rafts or something.
Yeah, they don't need to leave Africa. That's the point we're trying to make.
That's the point we're making. You don't have to try to escape where you come from. We just need to make sure that we get our brains. You know, I always say, I believe there was a reason. Yes, slavery was bad and being stolen from our continent and brought here was very bad. But the reason we are here is so we can get educated, begin to build a life, and then we can go back home. And whether you actually step foot on the continent or not, which I have for over 20 years, I have been going to the continent. But we can now partner with Africa's Brain Bank and share our brains, share our wisdom and knowledge so that we can help prevent things like this boat from capsizing in the Mediterranean and causing these lives to be lost. So we can, find the country. Dr. Ericana, that's my girl. I love her so much. She says, pick a country and go home. So many people are doing their DNA, trying to find where they come from. And that's all well and good. But she says, pick a country and go home and begin to pour into the people there to make life better on the continent. So we don't have to have scenes like what Reverend Pam just showed us. All these people in life rafts.
But Ambassador Lisa, you remember we had the flags at the event. Remember we had the flags at the event. Yeah, yes, and we are telling people, some people wanted to have the flags. They wanted their flags, only their country flags in front of them. And It just
Oh,
goes to
yes.
show the mindset that we have, you know. It goes to show the mindset that we have. You are African, it doesn't matter. Even Mr. Jim that was there, the white looking guy from Wall Street, he traced his ancestry back to Morocco. African.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
well,
he's
I
an
said it.
African.
I'm like that, Reverend Pam, because when I came in on Friday night, I sat at the table because it had Kenya's flag, and I was looking around for Uganda because I was going to change
Uh-huh.
flags. I said, no,
So
you're
you are
not.
one of them.
Yes.
You are looking for Ugandan flag.
Yep. And I did. I went, in the with the red carpet, which we did not talk about at all, but that's neither here nor there. Talking about the brain drain, but we did have Miss Africa. Miss
USA.
Africa USA, who was
Mm.
one of the honored guests, and she did the red carpet
Oh, yeah.
interview, and it was lovely. She had to leave us a little early on Sunday as she was moving on to take part in another pageant that was going to be happening.
Actually, that was their 20th anniversary, so she pressed away. But the owner, was like a little sister of mine, they are moving their pageant to the end of September so that in Ghana next year. So, and somebody moved their wedding date to September ending so they can be in Ghana with also. The momentum is building. The tickets will be available next week as soon as I get my laptop, or I'll try to create it with another person's laptop. So
Okay.
the save the date is already out. It's September 3rd through the 7th. It's a must attend. Ambassador Lisa, this thing is not letting me go to YouTube to play the anthem, but that's fine. We'll survive.
You can't get to the anthem?
Let's get everybody's last word and we'll call it a day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Reverend Pam. So, Sister Gloria, if you are there.
No, she's not. Debbie. Gloria is not.
Oh, she just dropped out. Sister Debbie, your last word on the topic of Africa's brain drain and how we are stopping it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Lisa. It's just we have to continue to empower our younger generation by pounding the same information we have for the past so that they should understand that where they are is no different than where every other person is. Any part of the world that you go to, what you find and the people you meet are basically the same. The only difference is that you may not have been friends from childhood, but you still are human beings and you can learn to understand one another and live with one another. Stay where you are. Find a way to empower yourself with what you have. And there are several ways on how they can do that. So I will pass it back to you, Your Highness. And I just put something in the chat just for you to see. I put something in the chat. You can look at it at the end of this. Thank you so much, and back to you.
Oh, thank you. Maybe she can help.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, send me
Reverend Pam, is it
information.
possible? Is it possible that you can save the chat? Because I tried to see how I could save the chat on my phone, and I didn't find that feature or
I'll
that
go to the settings. I'll go to the settings, but well, let me just do my own final and then you can wrap up, Ambassador Lisa. Africa's brain drain continues to be a problem around the globe, not just in Africa. There are a lot of us here in the diaspora. We don't know each other, and those who know each other, we don't give each other access to what we know, and that needs to stop. If we don't have access to each other's brain power or information, it is a brain drain. Everybody needs to keep that new definition. That's my definition. You know, if everybody stays in Africa and they're not able to access each other's brain power, it is a brain drain. It's not helping us. You know,
Right.
so let's build this brain bank together and let's collaborate, let's share, let's work. If you have information, share it. You know, sharing means you learn. In
sharing is
you
caring.
learn. Yeah, sharing is caring and sharing is learning. You'll be surprised. The
Yes.
people that came to speak, they ended up learning more than what they thought they were coming to share. So thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Ambassador Lisa.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful that you thought it not robbery to stop by and share this Sunday afternoon with Africa Online, the sister organization to Africa's Brain Bank. We look forward to seeing you every Sunday from 4 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss a variety of topics that benefit, educate, and empower and elevate those of on the continent and those of us here in the diaspora. Again, find us on Facebook, YouTube, like, subscribe, and then share the information, because we are here to teach and to share, and we all can be educated when we share what we know, share our knowledge, share our brain power, again, because sharing is caring. Again, I am Ambassador Prophetess Lisa Parks, and on behalf of Africa Online TV, we thank you. We look forward to seeing you, hearing from you again, and we see you again on next Sunday. God bless.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
God bless.
Blessings.